Well, here we go again. We've got another reveal, and this is off the trip to Craven County, North Carolina. And on the trip to Craven County, what we went looking for were some fossils that are more, they're not the actual creature, for instance. So, an example, this is the one that I was really happy about finding. Um, and I'll show you some footage here uh, where I extracted it. But these, I called them molds when I first spoke of it, but they're not really molds, or they're not really castings. Actually, they're molds instead. Um, these are called steinkerns, and basically what it is you have a shell, most of the time like a brachiopod or bivalve, something like that, and the cavity inside it is filled with sediment that forms a concretion, such as this, and you get a look of the inside of what the creature was. Where a casting, it's more of what it would have been on the outside. For instance, we'll take this as an example. This is a bivalve that I found, and I'll show you here. This was not on this trip. Yeah, right there's the focus point. But it's a complete. It's got both halves that you see there. Now, we'll take a look at the profile of it there. You can kind of see how the pieces are there. Well, a casting of it would have been, this would fall in sediment, and then this would slowly rot away, and then more sediment would fill in the cavity of that, and then you would have the casting, so it would show the ridges and all the external details of the fossil. However, with the steinkern, it's the internal side. So this is similar to the shell we just looked at. It's a different species. It's thicker, but you can kind of see how everything looks there, and I'll show you here as well. You can see the profile of it. So what happens here is the sediment goes into the shell, fills it out, and we get the form of what it looked like inside it rather than on the outside. And we had a really good trip as far as finding these. You know, I've got a bag full here that you can see, possibly if I get it in focus, but just numerous of them. But I'm going to just go over a few of them, highlight a few of them. And of course, this is one of the ones I want to highlight. This is very large compared to some of the other ones, and the details are very good. Now, when I first found this, this part here was covered up in, or covered with, dirt and mud and stuff. So I didn't even know it had the detail on that profile. So if I can get it back in focus here, the detail on that profile like that. So I was very pleased. It's got good color, and I'm very excited about that. This is another one. It's a smaller one, and again, it's got the same kind of reddish, brownish colors to it, and you can kind of see it here. And it's just, I love the uniqueness of that. Now, these thicker shells such as that, these are, I've seen some of them are called deer heart shells. It's just a colloquialism of it, I guess. But this one's a very good looking shell, or a mold. It's a steinkern. You can see it's got some stuff that's been chipped out or didn't fill out properly. And then we've got some different species, such as this. This is a much flatter shell. This would be more similar to that full body shell I showed you at the beginning when I was explaining the difference between a casting and a mold. Of course, I drop it there, and you can kind of see the profile look there as well. Then, of course, we have these two. This is more kind of like a razor clam. I'm not sure if it is a razor clam, but it's the length of it, the way it is much different, as you can tell, than the other ones that I found. Now, this particular one, I'm kind of excited about it too. Again, it's got character to it, and I like finding character in my fossils. And it's not a perfect specimen, but you can kind of see it's got texture to it. It's got different colors to it, and then there's crystals all through here. And I'll show you a little bit of a close-up of that I did with the macro lens, kind of going through it as well. So and the same with this. You can see this is pretty good on this side that we see right in here. But on this side, we have this chipped piece. But this chipped piece is full of crystals, full of calcite. And the interesting thing about the calcite is, I don't know how well it's going to do here, but UV light will cause it to glow. And it gives a little bit of a greenish tint. Now, it doesn't hold it long, but it does allow it to glow. And so that's one reason I liked this one. I liked having it and keeping it in my collection. One other fossil that we found through that was this piece here. And it's got a lot of calcite, a lot of character to it. But I believe this is from coral, and it's like a sliced form of the coral, and you can see it here. And this also has calcite between all of this, and it will also glow under a UV light. So that's why I kind of kept it, but it's just a unique thing, and it's a different type of fossil than what I would typically search for. And again, I've collected a bunch of them because I'm going to hand some of these out as well. But, a lot of these, such as these, they're going into my collection. So it was a fun trip. I did get rained on when I hit the other part. We actually had a storm coming in. There was some thunder and lightning as well. And I'm going to go back to that. And when I go back, then I'll go over the fossils I found there on the beach. I only found a few, but I couldn't record it because of the storm. I didn't want to mess up the camera. But yeah, it is what it is. That's what happens sometimes, especially with the crazy weather that you can get in many, many places you go, and North Carolina is no exception. So if you like this type of stuff, I invite you to like and subscribe. We'll alternate weeks. One week we'll be in the field. The next week we'll do a reveal such as this. And until next time, we'll see you later.